everybody, or good afternoon, wherever you're joining me from. I hope you're doing well this morning. For practice today, we'll just need our mat. And if you have blocks, go ahead and grab 2 blocks. And this is Bradley. He's excited this morning. He really wants to be on my mat today. So he's going to be right here for this morning. So if you need to go ahead and grab blocks, if you have them, go ahead and grab them. If you don't have blocks, but you would like to use props for this first position that we're going to come into, you can go ahead and grab 2 pillows. It'll be the same exact thing, and I'll show you how to set those up. So take a moment here, go ahead and roll out your mat, grab your blocks, grab your pillows, whatever you need. We'll be flowing through some hip movements today, some stretches through the low back, some hamstring stretches. So it's going to be a little bit of a nice restorative flow today. And Bradley is looking at himself in the screen here. He's not too happy about it, but it's okay. All right, so let's get started. So if you have blocks, one block will come to the end of your mat. Place it laterally. Make sure you can see that. Place it laterally like so. And your second block, this is going to be your pillow for your head. So go ahead and place that horizontally about where your head would land on the mat. If you have pillows, same thing. Your pillow will be lateral and then parallel with your other pillow. So 2 if you can get 2 pillows. All right, so what we're going to do is lay down in Supta Baddha Konasana. That's reclined butterfly pose. Just take your tailbone up to the block or the pillow, feet together, knees apart. And you're just going to lay down. Take your shoulder blades to wrap around the block, adjust it if you need. And let your head rest on that top block just like a pillow. Now again, if you don't have pillows or blocks, you can still do this exact posture. You just won't be using the props. You'll still get the same benefits. So as you kind of find that nice placement of the blocks, make sure that your chin is lifted just slightly so that you're comfortably resting your head on that block. Wrap your shoulder blades around your pillow or block or tuck them underneath your back a little bit more. Let your palms face up by your sides. And just close your eyes. So first, let's just take a nice mental scan of the body. Let's start at our feet. Feel your feet press in towards one another. Maybe emphasize that connection through the soles of the feet. Let your knees open out softly. And just let gravity melt those knees down towards your mat. And just feel that nice opening through the inner thigh and the inner hip. A slight lift through the low back from the earth, which allows your spine to press your heart towards the sky as we travel up towards that heart space. Feel your shoulders melt even more in towards the earth so that you're expanding your chest towards the sky. There's a gentle opening with the throat as it expands towards the sky, so the chin lifts slightly, emphasizing the natural curvature of your cervical vertebrae. Soften through your jaw. If you feel that you hold tension here, maybe open your mouth and stretch your mouth side to side. Release the jaw, stretch through the cheeks and face. Let your eyes be softly closed. If you notice there's a gentle furrow between the eyebrows, maybe lift your eyebrows towards your hairline so you're stretching through the face. And relaxing that face, melting in. Now let's take a little bit of a deeper look in towards our mental state at the moment. Notice where your mind is at. So often our mind is jumping from one thing to the next, our little monkey brains. So for this practice, allow yourself to just release that excess chit-chat from the brain as much as you can. When a thought comes in, notice it. But don't become attached. Let it go. Let it flow freely out. Good. Let's begin our breath. Our yogic 3-part breath begins with the belly. So let's place our right palm face down on the lower part of our belly. If this isn't comfortable, you can always leave your hand by the side. But as we place that right palm on the low belly, take an inhale and feel the belly expand as it presses up in towards your right palm. Fill your belly like a balloon. Press it towards the sky. And exhale, release that breath from your belly. Feel it lower. Feel your palm lower with your belly. Good. Take a big breath in through the nose. Again, feel your belly. Feel it press as your fingers might even spread slightly over your belly as your belly expands. And let that breath go through the nose. Feel your belly retract back towards your spine. Good. Big breath in. Fill all the way down to the base of your spine. Fill your belly up like a water balloon. Good. And let it go smooth as it came in. Keep your right hand where it's at. We'll use our left hand for the next part of this breath. So as you inhale, still breathe deep into the belly. And then begin to expand your rib cage, second part of our yogic breath. And as you exhale from the rib cage and from the belly, let everything retract in. Inhale deep into the low belly. Rib cage expands, heart lifts. Release from the heart, the rib cage, and the belly. Deep breath into the low belly. Rib cage expands, heart lifts. And release from the chest, from the belly, let it go. One more like that. Inhale, belly expands. Chest rises. Drink in that breath. Release from the rib cage. Release from the belly. Let go. Place the hand that's on your belly around the collarbones or the top of the throat area. This is our third part of our breath. So as you inhale, still breathe into the low belly. Let your rib cage and heart lift. And then drink that breath all the way up to the top of the throat. Fill your cup, fill your breath. And let go from the throat, from the heart space, from the belly. Pour all that breath out. Good. 3 parts. Inhale, belly. Rib cage. Top of the throat. Pause, suspended breath. And release from the throat, from the rib cage, from the belly. Pause with empty breath. So here you're in this quiet, empty space. Good. Deep breath into the low belly, rib cage, heart, throat, all the way up to the top. Hold that breath, suspend. And release, let it go, smooth as it came in. So continue that 3-part breath. You can take your arms back down by your sides, palms face up if that's more comfortable. Just take a few more rounds of that 3-part breath on your own. Deepening the breath as you can. Melting in even more with every exhale. You can even play around with that holding of the breath at the top and that holding of the breath in that empty breath space. As your mind is focused on this breath, Hopefully there's some clarity now, some softness as we've switched into the parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest. And as you're breathing here, begin to set an intention for your practice. Whatever comes to mind first, maybe it's why you're on the mat here today. And I encourage you to remember that intention throughout this practice. And even write it down when you're done. Let it resonate with you throughout the day. So last full 3-part breath. Gently begin to close your knees like a book. So you might have to take your hands to the outsides of your thighs and just assist your legs up. Let your knees touch. Begin to roll off to your right side as if you just woke up for the first time today. So you'll come into a nice side laying down position. And use that left hand. Press yourself up. You can move those blocks or your pillow off to the side. We won't be using them unless you want to use them in your practice. So as you come up, you're going to come up into an easy seat. Legs extend out long. Good. So flex your feet. I hope you can see them behind Bradley. Dogs insist on laying on yoga mats, by the way. I'm sure all of you at home have realized this. Good. So just let yourself ground down into your sits bones. Take your right hand, grab a hold of the outer blade of your right foot. Begin to bend your right knee all the way back like a bow and arrow. So as you pull back, sit up tall, shoulders back. You should feel a nice deep stretch in that hip. If you want more in this pose, you can begin to reach forward towards your left toes, maybe even grab onto that left toe. Don't worry if you can't, that's okay. You can always hold on to the calf or the shin, or even just feel that opposition through your reach. Wherever you are, you're pulling back through that right knee and reaching forward towards your left toes. You should feel this deep in the low back, a nice psoas stretch here. Deep breath in, stay with it. Try to keep that chest up. Good. Now we're gonna come into rock the baby. So take that left forearm, into your right arch of your foot. Cradle your shin. So take your right hand to reach around, interlace your fingers, and just rock side to side. Massage through into that right hip. This is a pretty deep stretch into your right piriformis, your hip, your low back. Find some gentle circular motions. Good. Gently release that right foot. Take it out forward and switch sides. So your left hand will grab a hold of your left outer blade of your foot and just reach forward as you pull that left knee back. Again, like a bow and arrow, so that left knee reaches back. Sit up tall, shoulders back. So you can stay right here, feel that nice deep stretch in that left hip. If you want more, your right hand can reach forward to find that right big toe, maybe the shin, maybe you're just reaching, finding that opposition. That'll allow you to feel that stretch through the low back, creating that pull back and reach forward, getting both the low back and the front of that psoas. So our psoas muscle connects from our hip into our low back. So that's the trick here. We're getting both of those sides. Deep breath, stay with it. Lift through your heart. Stay connected to that breath. And let's move into cradle the baby. So take that left arch into your right elbow, that little crook forearm area. Left arm will come around as you interlace your fingers and just begin to rock the baby side to side. Massage through your lower hip. Good. Deep breath, just massage in, rock side to side. Nice circular motions, good. And let's release that left foot, take it back forward. Cross your ankles, shift forward. We're gonna come into tabletop position. Shoulders right over the wrists, hips over the knees. Gaze down between the thumbs. Let's begin to move with our breath. Shoulders back, tailbone high, big inhale, look up. And as you exhale, curl back up and in, arch your spine, tuck your chin, look back between your thighs. Inhale, shoulders back, cow pose, look up, open your heart. Exhale, curl back up and in, arch your spine, tuck your chin, puff up through that upper part of your back. Good, inhale, shoulders back, undulate through. Let this feel good with the breath, connecting to your movement. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, open and expand. Shoulders down the back. If there's any other movement here that feels good to you, feel free to move into that here. So that might be simply swaying the hips side to side, puffing out through the rib cage, head and neck stretches. You can circle your head out. You can turn your fingers towards your toes, massage into the wrists and the forearms. There is no position for this that is wrong, so whatever feels right in your body, just move in a nice fluid motion. You can even dip shoulders down, work into the heart space. And get a little twist. And just work into the body, get all those little fidgets out. So take about two more rounds of breath here. Maybe even shift back through a child's pose. Good. And let's come into our tabletop position. We'll all meet here. So tuck your toes behind you. Press your hips back towards your heels, so you'll feel a nice stretch through the arches of your feet. Hands out in front like starfish on the mat, so they'll look like this on your mat. Good. Ground down through those palms, lift your knees, and then lift your hips towards the sky. Downward facing dog. So in your first downward dog, same thing with that freedom of movement. Begin to bend one knee and then the other. Side to side. Relax your head and neck. Shake it out, yes and no. Begin to feel the ground beneath your feet and your palms. Feel your hips high, maybe sway them side to side. Again, find that freedom of movement. If stillness is what your body needs this morning, feel free to stay in stillness. Connect with your breath. Always stay with that breath in and out through the nose. Stay clear with your intention. Once you settle into your downward dog, feet or hips width distance, hands, shoulders width, wrap those shoulders down the back as your hips press high. Relax through your head and neck. Pull your lower belly in, chest towards your thighs. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Bend your knees deeply. Look to the top of your mat and begin to tiptoe your feet all the way up to the top of the mat. Good. Bend your knees deep. Oh, okay. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Grab a hold of opposite elbows, ragdoll arms. Just relax your head and neck in that window that you've created with the arms. So this should feel nice and heavy through the spine. If it feels good to just sway side to side, let yourself sway. Be sure your knees are deeply bent here. So with your knees deeply bent, you're allowing your low back to decompress. You're allowing those hamstrings to just softly open. Good, so pause here, one more breath.
It's too late now to turn around. And then ground through your feet, tuck through your chin. Begin to unravel your spine. Release those hands. Tuck your chin in so head and neck are the last to come all the way up. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Open the shoulders down, your back palms forward. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, shrug your shoulders all the way up to your earlobes. Roll your shoulders down your back. Shrug all the way up towards your ears. And open down your back. Good. Pause here in Tadasana, equal standing. So your feet are right underneath your hips. Ground through those feet. Feel the energy through the ground come up through the legs. Engage through your thighs. Slight tuck of the tailbone as you pull your lower belly up and in. Lift through your heart, shoulders back, chin parallel with the earth. Close your eyes. Take a moment here in equal standing to breathe in through the nose. Feel that breath travel down to your base. Ground through your feet. And as you exhale, feel a release of the shoulders down your back, softness through the face. Come back to your intention here. Inhale, reach your arms high, mountain pose. Exhale, baby back bend, bend your elbows, lift through your heart, look up towards the sky. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive all the way down to your toes. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. So knees are soft, fingertips graze your shins or even your mat with a flat spine. Exhale, forward fold, plant your palms, step your feet back into a high plank pose. Take a breath here, just feel your core engage. Inhale in. And exhale, take those knees to the earth. Walk your hands forward for puppy dog pose, Anahasanasana. So as you're here, feel those shoulders roll down the back, heart melts down to the earth, gaze is forward. Eventually, chin and chest are down on the earth. As you inhale, shift forward onto your forearms. Slide your knees back for Sphinx Pose. Elbows just slightly in front of the shoulders, palms down. Lift through your heart, create that traction through the forearms. And then lower down. Take your hands, tent them to the outside of your mat. Begin to roll one shoulder back at a time. Circle it out. Again, this really doesn't have to look like anything in particular. Whatever feels right in those shoulders and your upper thoracic spine, allow yourself to move into that. So sometimes a nice twist feels good. Sometimes staying low and just kind of working into the fronts of the shoulders feels good. Give yourself about 2 more rounds of breath, just finding and exploring that feeling through the shoulders, through the chest, through the head, the neck, even up into your jaw. Okay. Make your way back through center, hands right under your shoulders, elbows point back like little cricket arms. Take an inhale into your Cobra pose, lift through your heart, shoulders back, hands are just softly on the earth. Tuck your toes behind you as you exhale, press your hips back towards your heels, lift your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Full breath in, and full breath out. Bend your knees, look forward. We're gonna take our feet to the outsides of our hands at the top of the mat. Toes out, heels in. Ground through those heels. As you inhale, rise up to standing. Reach your arms up and overhead. Take your hands through heart center. Press your knees out as you lower down through Malasana squat. We're gonna rise back up, ground through those heels. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands through heart center, long spine as you lower. 2 more times. Inhale, rise down through those heels. And exhale, softly lower down through the midline. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale, flow. We're gonna stay down in our squat. So elbows, press your knees away. Lift through your heart. Shoulders back. Feel that nice groundedness through your feet. Feel your heart expand. Deep breath in. Deep exhale out. Feel free to close your eyes here. Listen to your breath. One more full round. Take your hands to the earth. Raise your hips high. Exhale, forward, fold, toes in, heels out. Relax your head and neck. So this is a wide-legged forward fold. Feel free to grab a hold of opposite elbows and sway side to side. Getting a nice counter pose to our Malasana squat. And that will allow our hamstrings to open, our low back to open. Feel heaviness through the spine, relax through the head and neck. Take another breath here in stillness or with that gentle sway. Go ahead, release those hands to the earth. Heel toe your feet, back hips with distance. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift flat spine. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back into your high plank pose. Engage through your core, take an inhale in. And exhale, knees to your mat, walk your hands forward, melt your chest. Puppy dog pose, Anahatanasana. Gaze forward, inhale, Sphinx Pose. Slide those knees back, pull your heart through. Exhale, lower your heart, tent your hands with your next breath. Lift up and roll those shoulders side to side, free flowing cobra. Make your way back to the center. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale, cobra pose, baby cobra. Let those shoulders roll down your back, elbows point back. Tuck your toes behind you. Press your hips back towards your heels. And then lift those hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Inhale, right leg rises high. Three-legged dog. Bend your right knee so you really feel a nice hip opening here. Reach your right knee high, square your shoulders out. Let's begin to take 3 big hip circles. So hug your right knee towards your chest. Open out to the right and around. 2 more times. Hug in. Open out to the right and back. Last one. Hug in. Open your knee out to the right and back up to the sky. Take an inhale. Reach that right knee high. Exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Place your right foot to the top of the mat. Lower your back knee down. Take an inhale, ground through that right foot, low lunge. And hips are forward, shoulders are relaxed. Lift through your heart, ground through that right foot. So really crucial alignment here. Have a slight tuck of your tailbone, so that's pulling up and in through your low belly and down through the back. And that allows your low back to have some decompression while the front of your left hip, the psoas, lengthens. Relax through those shoulders, deep breath, lift through the heart. Now as you exhale, keep your heart lifted, just let your arms open like wings. Shoulders draw down the back, expand the chest towards the sky. Good. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, take your hands down to the earth, tent your fingers, shift your hips back into a half splits, flex your right foot, square through your hips. Take an inhale to lengthen halfway. And as you exhale, fold towards that right leg. Relax your head and neck. Reach your heart towards your toes. Get a nice stretch through that right hamstring. Deep breath here, one more. Good, shift forward, tuck your back toes. Right leg will just reach all the way back up to the sky through our three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, stack it open. And lower that right foot down to your mat. We'll switch sides. Inhale, left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend your left knee, stack it open. Square those shoulders out so you really emphasize that length through that left hip. Reach that left knee high, inhale. Let's take those three big hip circles. So hug your left knee in towards your chest. Open it out to the left and around. Two more times. Hug in. Open out. And around. Good. One more. Hug in. Open out. And around. Reach that left knee high. Big breath in. And exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of the mat. Lower your right knee down. We're moving into our low lunge. Inhale, arms rise high. Relax your shoulders. Slight tuck of your tailbone. Again, you really want to emphasize that you're lengthening through that right psoas as opposed to crunching into your low back. So when you lift up through the low belly and down through that right glute, you'll feel the stretch to the front of your right hip even more. With your arms rising high, lift through your heart, feel that expansion through the chest and then that deep stretch in that right hip. Big breath in. Keep your heart lifted, but just let your arms open out wide. Shoulders drop down the back, look up towards the sky. Ground through that left foot, so you're grounding into lift up, deep breath. Good. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, coming into our half split, shift your hips back. Flex your left foot, lift through your heart, so you're lengthening over your left leg through your chest, towards your toes. Lengthen forward. And exhale, bow in. Keep those hips square, relax your head. Feel that stretch all the way up the back side of your left leg. Stay connected with your breath. Last full round here. Good. Shift forward. Tuck your right toes. Back through three-legged dog. Inhale your left leg high to the sky. Bend your left knee. And release that left foot down to the earth. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. And full breath out. Bend your knees, look forward. Step or hop your feet to the outsides of your hands. Lower your hips down, Malasana squat, yogi squat. Hands to heart center, shoulders back. We're gonna stay low. Get deep in those hips. You can stay right here, or you can begin to take your left hand down to the inside of your left foot. Right arm to the sky, twist open. Let that right shoulder peel back. If this feels really good, you want more, that right hand can even tuck behind your back. Left arm can come around the front of that left shin, and you can bind behind you if you have the space. Let your right shoulder open back, lift through your heart, look up. Good. Right arm rises back up if it isn't already. Take your hands back through heart center. Switch sides. Right hand is down. Left arm to the sky. Roll that left shoulder back. Sink your hips low. Again, if you want more in this pose, you can take your left hand to tuck behind your back. Right hand and forearm will reach around the front of that right shin. And you'll find, excuse me, your hands behind you. Roll your left shoulder back. And look out past that left shoulder. So you can see my hands behind me here. Okay. Open up. Gently release if you went for that bind. Hands back through heart center. Palms together. Inhale. And exhale, hands to the earth, hips high, fold in, toes in, heels out. Take opposite elbows, sway side to side. Let it go. Release your hands to the earth. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Let's heel toe those feet back, hips with distance. And as you exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Take an inhale in. Exhale, knees to the mat. Walk your hands forward, Anahatanasana. Inhale, Sphinx Pose. Slide your knees back, pull your heart through. Exhale, lower your chest. Tent your hands, elbows high. Lift up with your inhale, sway side to side. If you want more, you can even bend one knee, look back at your toes, stretch through your quadriceps. Twist it out. Make your way back through center. Hands right under your shoulders. Inhale, lift, Cobra Pose. Exhale, tuck your toes, hips to your heels, downward facing dog. Full round of breath here. And full round of breath out. Good. Deep breath in. Right leg reaches high to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. Exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Place your right foot to the outside of your right hand at the top of the mat. Lower your back knee down. Hands right under your shoulders. Lift through your heart. You can stay right here if you want a little bit more in that hip. Take your right hand, place it on the inside of your right thigh. Press your right knee out as you roll your shoulder back, dip your hips low. So you can stay right here, just feel that nice opening. If you want to go deeper in the pose, you can bend your back knee, reach with your right hand for the outside of your left foot. Again, this is just optional. It's another quad stretch and a deeper opening in hip. Go there if you want to. Roll your right shoulder back. Sink your hips low, deep breath in. Maybe look out past your right shoulder no matter what variation you are in. Good. Release your back foot if you went there. Release your right hand to the earth. Heel toe your right foot to the center of the mat. Shift your hips back, flex your right foot, coming back into our half splits with a slight variation. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Left hand stays down. Right arm to the sky. Exhale, open and twist. So your right hip often wants to lift up. Press it back down. Let your right hip drop down in line with your left so you really feel that stretch through that right piriformis and through the hamstring. One more breath here. And exhale that right hand down. Shift forward. Heel toe your right foot towards your left wrist for pigeon pose. Remember, you can always come onto your back for thread the needle if that's more appropriate for your practice. Right heel comes to that left hip. Square your shoulders forward, hands by your sides. Take a breath, lift through your heart, proud pigeon. As you exhale, come to your degree. Maybe you walk your hands all the way out. If you do have blocks, you can even take your block under your forearms for more support, or let your head rest on a block or the earth. Let yourself ground in here. Let your breath continue to flow deeply in and out through the nose. Bring your mind back to your intention that you set at the beginning of class. Soften through your face, soften through your hands. Notice if your toes are clenching. Let them soften to the mat. Bring awareness to the effects of the breath on your body and on your mind and on your emotional state as well. Take one more full breath here. Your exhale, let it go. Slowly take your time. Walk those hands back up towards your hips. Tuck your back toes. Your right leg through. Three-legged dog. Reach that right leg high to the sky. Roll that right knee out. Get some nice big hip circles. Feel the blood flow come back to that hip socket. And lower that right foot down to meet the left. Let's switch sides. Inhale. Left leg to the sky. Stack it open. Exhale, place that left foot to the outside of your left hand. Right knee lowers. Again, you have options here. You can stay right here with your hands down on the earth. Just let that left knee open out. You can take your left hand to the inside of your left thigh and press your left knee away. Kind of rotate open. If you want even more, you can begin to bend your back knee. Reach back with your left hand, find the outside of that left foot, and get a nice quad stretch. So a couple options. Find your degree of movement in the hips today. Deep breath. Maybe even look out past that left shoulder. And begin to let it go. Heel toe that left foot to the center of the mat. Shift your hips back, flex your left foot. We'll be coming into half splits. Take an inhale, lengthen. And an exhale, right hand stays down, left arm to the sky, twist to the left. So just be sure that left hip doesn't lift up. Press it back down in line with the right. Good. Left arm reaches up high so that left shoulder rolls back. Good. Take your time, left arm down to the mat. Shift forward. Heel toe your left foot over to meet your right wrist, setting up for pigeon pose. So again, if thread the needle on your back is more appropriate, feel free to move into that posture. Square your hips and shoulders forward. Take an inhale in. And as you exhale, come down to your degree. So you might come down onto your forearms. Maybe you come all the way down, resting yourself on a block. Allow yourself to stay focused with the breath. Come back to your intention. No matter what's going on around you, allow yourself to just focus on the sound of your own breathing. Last 2 breaths here. Slowly begin to crawl up. Take your time. Tuck your right toes. Left leg rises all the way up to the sky through downward dog. Circle it out. Get that blood flow back into your hip. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. So this is the last downward dog of the class. Take a big breath in through the nose. And exhale out the mouth, let it go. Good. Take your knees down to your mat. Sit your hips back towards your heels. Shift your legs out in front of you. Flex through your feet. Remove all the flesh from underneath your sits bones. Ground down, lift through your heart. Inhale, reach your arms high. And as you exhale, hinge and bow forward. Relax your head and neck.
flex through your feet. So you don't have to fold all the way forwards through your legs. Rather, allow yourself to have kind of a surrendering motion towards your legs. Your arms can be limp just as long as your legs are engaged. Relax through your head and neck. Good. Inhale, lift up. Bend your knees. Shift your hips forward. Reach your arms out long. If you have a dog at home, you can also play tug of war while you do this motion. Lower all the way down to your mat. Keep your heels up towards your hips. We're gonna move into bridge pose. So press down through your heels. Lift your hips towards the sky. Shimmy your shoulders up under your back. Tuck through your chin. Keep your knees parallel, hips width distance as you press your hips high, heart towards the sky. Good, you should feel a nice stretch through the back of the neck, through the hips. Good, and slowly release those hips down. Hug your knees in towards your chest as your low back feels securely down on the earth. And begin to hug your knees up and in. Give them a squeeze. And extend your left leg forward. Hug your right knee in towards your chest. So you really want to hug that right knee up and in so it massages the organs on the right side. Good. And then take your right knee over to the left, right arm out to the right, shoulders stay on the earth.
Open your eyes.
Twist your spine, breathe deeply into your low belly. So as you breathe deep into your low belly, you'll feel your low back expand.
This is a dream.
Good.
Getting the royal scar. Holding the diamond blade.
Take your time. Come back through center. Hug both knees deep in towards your chest. And then extend your left leg, your right leg long. Hug your left knee up and in towards your chest. Give it a squeeze. And then take that left knee, as you're ready, over to the right. Left arm out to the left. Shoulders stay on the earth. Twist your spine, gaze to the left. You should feel this nice decompression in your low back, your outer hip. Shoulders relax on the earth. And that deep breath into your low belly will allow the low back to decompress. Beautiful. Take your time. Come back through center. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a final big squeeze. Forehead towards the knees. Deep breath in. And let it go. Legs out long, palms face up. Lay down on your back and close your eyes. Soften through the breath. Soften through the face. Feel the body melt in towards your mat, letting go of all control. You can stay in this pose, Shavasana, as long as you need today. If you would like to begin to move about your day, take your time before you rise up.
Use your hands as eyes to crawl up into an easy seat. As you're ready, if you're joining me, hands come to heart center, bow your chin. Allow yourself to express gratitude. Choose 3 things that you are grateful for in this moment. So specifically today, right now, whatever comes to mind first. It can be simple, it can be complex, whatever it is. Let those 3 things resonate in your mind. And let's honor the light that dwells within each and every one of us. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning, wherever you are in the world. Namaste. So thank you for coming to class. This is a live class that I have every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 a.m. Hawaii time. It's breath and flow. So we have another class on Sunday, and that is an hour-long Vinyasa class, all levels. You're welcome to join that as well here on my YouTube. More information will always be put out on my Instagram at Katie Marie Yoga. You can feel free to message me there or even here on YouTube. Reach out, subscribe, share, let me know what you think, let me know what you want to see. I'm here to serve you at your home practice, online live, and I also have some recorded videos as well. You can always go back and check. So thank you for joining. Namaste and aloha.